All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. As this NBA season has been one of transition for the Toronto Raptors, we've seen them making some moves on their roster. The first big one was a couple of weeks ago when they made the deal with the New York Knicks to send OG Ananobi to the Big Apple, and then today's deal that saw the Raptors send Pascal Siakam to the Indiana Pacers. Now, the Raptors are set to receive Bruce Brown, Jordan Wara, those two from Indiana, while they're also getting Kira Lewis Jr. from the New Orleans Pelicans. In all, Toronto will get three first round picks, with two of them being in this June's NBA draft. Now, the Pacers are getting themselves a bona fide scorer in Siakam. As you're talking about a guy that's averaging more than 22 points per game, 17 points for his entire career, 22 points a season, rather. You're talking about Siakam leaving Toronto as the franchise's fifth all-time leading scorer, and now he's going to have the opportunity to be an impact player in Indiana. I'm saying this because now, once they get Tyrese Halliburton back from injury, one of the better point guards in the NBA, and then you got a big in Miles Turner. It's going to be very interesting for the Pacers, and the reason why I say it is this: Indiana coming into play today, they had the sixth best record in the East. You're talking about the highest scoring team in the NBA right now in the Pacers. But then you have a team that gives up a lot of points as well. They're 28th in points allowed entering play today. So, as exciting as they can be on the offensive end, they've got to clean it up on the defensive end. How much of an impact or how much of a change is a guy like Pascal Siakam going to make to that? We got to wait and see. But nonetheless, you're looking at the Pacers. They're trying to keep up with the Joneses in the Eastern Conference. There's still work ahead of them because clearly the Boston Celtics are the class of the East right now. And then you've got Milwaukee and Philadelphia. And I said this at the beginning of the season, and I'm going to stand by it. Barring something unforeseen, it's going to be either Boston, Milwaukee, or Philadelphia that gets out of the East and gets to the NBA Finals. Indiana, they're right there in that pack with Cleveland, with Miami, with the Knicks, and possibly even Orlando. Even though Orlando has tapered off recently, as far as teams that are going to be seeded 4 through 6 and try to avoid that play-in tournament. But I'll tell you like this: for excitement, you definitely have to look at the Indiana Pacers once Halliburton comes back. This is like one of the last links to that championship team for Toronto from a couple of years ago, as they're in full reset mode. You knew that once they moved on from Nick Nurse, you bring in Rajakovic as the new head coach, and basically, he's getting his guys for his system. So it was out with OG Ananobi. Now it's out with Pascal Siakam. We knew this was coming from a couple of weeks ago. But now you got Scotty Barnes and then you've got RJ Barrett. And I think the Raptors going forward are going to look to build around them. And then also they've got some picks. And, a team like the Raptors, they've done pretty good. Masai Ujiri leading that front office, he's done pretty good as far as having a knack for finding and developing talent. He did it during his time with the Denver Nuggets. And of course, he's doing more of the same with Toronto. So I think the Raptors, they clearly know that they're in reset mode right now. You're talking about a team that is 12th in the East. They're a long shot at this point, in my opinion, to make the play-in tournament. I mean, they're 12th. Yeah, they're a game and a half behind the Brooklyn Nets. But nonetheless, I think the Raptors are like really fully in reset mode, trying to see how this team gels going forward past this current season. But on the flip side for Indiana, this is a deal that they want to build off of for Rick Carlisle and company because you got Siakam in the last year of his deal. And you don't give up multiple picks and players for a guy like Siakam and expect him to walk after the season's over. And then, of course, Indiana's going to be able to offer him more money than any other club. So, again, I think excitement is there for Indiana. I think this solidifies their chances to be a top six team. Not going to say that they're a championship team. Too many issues on the defensive end of the floor, but nonetheless, once you get Halliburton back with Siakam and of course Miles Turner, I think the Pacers are definitely going to be must see TV in the NBA. So, folks, that's going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank all of you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you haven't already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on the X, formerly known as Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. Now you can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I'm signing off. And I'm saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.